Okay, so hi everyone. This is just a quick Friday Spry play. This time I'm just going to show you how to create a video similar to the one that is on screen now, where you can see a couple of different bits of detail that are new. We've got the precision mining logo in the bottom right. We've got equipment images when they're not busy in the top right. We've also got the video itself rotating. So we've also picked up a little bug to do with that, but we'll address that at another time. So in regards to how we actually generate this, there's a few different things happening. So one of the things that we'll pull up is, bring the model over here, is we have the overlay image. So what you need to do to create the overlay image is it needs to be the same size as the video that you intend to export. So if you're going to export a default 1920 by 1080 video, then you want to make sure that your overlay image is the same size. So if you have logos and other information that you want to put onto that video, the easiest tool to use without getting into anything specialized is it's called Paint 3D. It comes with Windows 10. You need to do a couple of things with Paint 3D. So Paint 3D, as I said, just search for it in your bottom left. I don't have it on this screen, so I can't show you. But when you create a new image in Paint 3D, it'll be a white canvas background. So the first thing you're going to want to do is flick across to the canvas, tick on transparent canvas, and then change the size of the canvas to be the same size as your video. If it's ticked on, make sure that you untick lock aspect ratio. And then with any images that you have, you're going to want to, the easiest way to work with them is just to drag them onto the screen. So if I have over here my precision mining logo, I drag it in, I drag it around, I place it where I want it. The moment that you stop moving it around, you're going to lose the ability to move that around again. So if you place it incorrectly and you need to place it again, you'll need to undo and drag it in again. Okay, so I'm going to drag that in, place it about there. Once you're done with your image, and I'm going to drag in another one just for fun. Once you've dragged that in, save your image as something that you recognize. So I'm just going to pop that there. All right, so we save that. Save as, image, pick your folder, and then name it for whatever you want. Background. Make sure that it's saved as a 2D PNG, not as a JPEG or a bitmap. That way you'll get the transparent background. And then pop into your Spry, change the image to the image that you have, which is this one, and you'll get the new icon. The new icons, if you did not change your canvas to clear, you'll end up just with a big white thing over the top of your image. Okay, so that's the first part of getting, and you can use this for images as well. So the first part of getting an overlay image is that element of it. The second part, if you want to get your video rotating like this, there's a few background settings that are hidden. If you go into your all settings menu and start typing the word, I believe it's export, it's the easiest one. Maybe rotation is another one. And these top three options are the ones that you're going to want to change. So animation, export, rotate each frame, you're going to want to set to true. The default will be false. You're also going to want to pick a rotation center. So you need to decide where you want your image to rotate around. So the easiest way to do that is grab a solid or a topography, go to the bottom option in the drop down menu, select copy to clipboard, paste it in to the field there. And the other thing you're going to want to do is change the rotation degrees. By default, it's set to 5. It was done, not really checked. You don't want to leave it as the default. Your videos will rotate like this. So yeah, change it to something like 0.1. 0.1 will give you a rotation similar to what's on screen here. Reasonably gentle. If you want to speed it up, slow it down, you can change that value. The lower, the slower. And then the once those three things have been set, you hit save. Now, one thing that's important to note is that rotation center is Spry project level, Spry level, not Spry project level. So if you need to run different projects and you want to rotate, you're going to need to make sure that that's changed. I wouldn't actually recommend saving that setting because you might forget where it is and you come back and all your images and all your videos are rotating when you don't want them to. And then the final part of this is, if you're not familiar, having your inactive equipment appearing in a particular part of the image, you're going to want to change your animation options, go to inactive equipment, and then show inactive equipment is ticked on. If you permanently want to see that, that is another setting that you can change in here. There will be a non-default, but show inactive equipment is set to false by default. You can change that to true and click and hit save. But yeah, once you get through all of that, so you have your image, then we've already got an image here, that'll be fine. You have your various settings here. The only other thing that you may want to change, if you want it to look really smooth, the default frames per second is 15. 30 or 60 will give you something that looks just a lot smoother. It'll just take twice or 4 times as long to actually generate the video. But yeah, pretty simple one, but you know, if you're doing presentations and things like that, it's not to communicate a plan, it's just for something to look good. Then that rotation can be nice. Regardless, having the ability to create that overlay image can be quite handy. If you have any questions about how that works, you have some ideas about how you think it can work better, please let us know. Otherwise, have a great weekend, and thank you for your attention as always.